You know the word. You've used it before, 100 times. But right now, in this moment, talking to this person, it's gone. Your brain is searching frantically. You can feel the word. It's right there on the tip of your tongue, but you can't grab it. So you pause, you stutter, you say, and the other person is waiting, looking at you, and you feel stupid.
Hey everyone, I'm Adam.
And I'm Maya, and if what I just described sounds painfully familiar, you're in the right place.
Because today we're talking about one of the most frustrating problems in language learning: forgetting words when you speak. Not when you read, not when you study, but right when you need them, in the middle of a conversation.
So we're going to do two things. First, we're going to explain exactly why this happens, the real reasons, not surface level stuff.
And second, we're going to give you 6 techniques to fix it. Real, practical techniques you can use immediately.
So stay with us, because by the end of this, you'll understand your brain better, and you'll have tools to solve this problem. Okay, Adam, let's start with the why, because I need to understand this. Why do I forget words when I'm speaking?
There are 4 main reasons, and they're all connected to how your brain works. Let's break them down. Before we go deeper, if you want content that actually explains things, that respects your intelligence, and gives you real solutions, hit subscribe.
Because we don't do surface level tips here. We go deep. We explain the psychology. We give you systems.
Subscribe, and let's figure this out together. Reason 1, when you're in a conversation, you're under pressure, and pressure makes your brain malfunction.
What kind of pressure?
Time pressure, social pressure, the pressure to respond quickly, the pressure to sound smart, all of it happening at once. Here's what happens in your brain. You have 2 memory systems, long-term memory and working memory.
What's the difference?
Long-term memory is like a huge library. It stores everything you've ever learned. All your vocabulary is there, but it's stored deep. Working memory is like a small desk. It's where you process information right now. When you speak, you pull words from long-term memory to working memory.
Okay, so speaking is about moving words from the library to the desk.
Exactly, but here's the problem. Working memory is tiny. It can only hold a few things at once, and when you're under pressure, it gets even smaller. When you panic, your brain releases stress hormones. These hormones shut down parts of your brain, including the parts that retrieve words from long-term memory.
So stress literally blocks access to my vocabulary?
Yes, the more stressed you are, the harder it is to retrieve words, even words you know perfectly.
This happened to me last week. I was ordering food and I wanted to say napkin. Simple word. I've said it a million times.
But
the waiter was looking at me, waiting, and suddenly I couldn't remember the word. I said the paper thing instead and felt so embarrassed.
that's the pressure effect. You knew the word, but stress blocked access to it.
So what's the fix?
We'll get to the fixes, but first understand all 4 reasons, because they work together. Honestly, reason 2, the word isn't stored strongly enough in your brain. The connection is weak.
What do you mean by weak connection?
Okay, think of your brain like a forest. Every word is a path through the forest. The more you use a word, the clearer the path becomes. If you use a word every day, that path is like a highway, wide, clear, easy to find. But if you only saw the word once in a textbook, that path is tiny, overgrown, hard to find.
So when I'm speaking and I need that word?
Your brain can't find the path because it's too faint, too weak, so you forget the word. And here's the tricky part. There's a difference between recognizing a word and recalling a word.
What's the difference?
Recognition is easy. If I show you the word napkin, you think, oh yeah, I know that word. But recall is hard. Pulling that word out of your brain when you need it with no help, that's difficult. Most learners can recognize thousands of words, but they can only recall a few hundred because recognition doesn't require strong connections, but recall does.
So just knowing a word isn't enough?
Just knowing a word isn't enough. You need to have used it multiple times in different contexts so the connection is strong.
So, like, I learned the word exhausted from a textbook. I understand it when I read it, but when I'm actually tired and trying to tell someone, I say very, very tired instead because I can't recall exhausted.
Exactly. You recognize it, but you can't recall it because you haven't used it enough to build a strong path.
So, the fix is using words more?
That's part of it. We'll get into the techniques, but yes, usage strengthens the connection. Reason 3, you're thinking in your native language and trying to translate, and translation causes delays and blanks.
But isn't that normal? Don't all learners translate?
At first, yes, but if you're still translating after years of learning, it's slowing you down and causing word loss. Here's what happens. You have a thought in your native language, then you try to translate it to English, but sometimes there's no direct translation, or you can't remember the English word fast enough.
So I get stuck.
You get stuck, and while you're searching for the translation, the moment passes and you feel frustrated. The better way is to think directly in English, to have thoughts that are already in English, so there's no translation step, no delay.
But how do I think in English when my brain naturally thinks in my language?
That's a skill you build. It doesn't happen automatically, but it's possible. And when you do it, word recall becomes much easier.
So, like, sometimes when I'm alone, I notice I'm thinking in English. Like, I'm not translating. The thoughts are just in English, and it feels smooth.
Exactly. That's what we want. But most learners only experience that when they're relaxed. We need to train your brain to do it even under pressure.
Okay, so how?
The techniques will cover that, but the key is immersion, surrounding yourself with English so much that your brain starts using it automatically. Reason 4. When you speak, your brain is juggling multiple tasks, and that split attention causes word loss.
What tasks?
Think about it. You're trying to find words. You're trying to form correct grammar. You're trying to pronounce clearly. You're trying to listen to the other person. You're trying to read their face. You're trying to plan what to say next. That's at least 6 tasks happening at the same time, and your brain can't handle it.
So something has to drop.
Something has to drop, and usually what drops is word recall, because your brain is prioritizing other things. This is called cognitive overload. Too much information, too many tasks, your brain maxes out, and when that happens, you forget words, even simple ones.
Is this why I forget words I know really well?
Yes, it's not that you don't know the word, it's that your brain is too busy to retrieve it. Here's what's interesting. Advanced speakers don't have this problem as much. You know why?
Why?
Because grammar and pronunciation are automatic for them. They don't think about it, so their brain has more space for word recall. But when you're still learning, everything requires conscious effort, so your brain is constantly overloaded.
So as I get better, word recall will get easier?
As you get better, some things become automatic, and that frees up mental space, which makes word recall easier. But we can speed up that process with the right techniques.
Okay, so 4 reasons. Pressure blocks retrieval, weak connections from not using words enough, translating instead of thinking in English, and cognitive overload from doing too many things.
Those are the 4 reasons. Now let's talk about solutions. 6 techniques to fix this problem. Technique 1. Stop learning individual words. Start learning phrases.
What's the difference?
When you learn a word in isolation, like exhausted, your brain stores it alone. So when you need it, you have to find that one specific word. But when you learn a phrase, like I'm so exhausted from work, your brain stores the whole chunk, and chunks are easier to recall than individual words.
Why?
Because your brain loves patterns. Phrases are patterns. When you start saying, I'm so, your brain automatically completes it with exhausted from work. It's like muscle memory. Here's what I mean. Instead of learning the word disappointed, learn I was disappointed when, or I'm a bit disappointed that.
So I'm learning it in context.
You're learning it in context, and context makes it easier to remember and retrieve. Here's the exercise. Take 10 words you often forget, write them in full sentences or phrases, and say those phrases out loud 20 times.
Why 20 times?
Because repetition builds the neural pathway. After 20 times, the phrase starts to feel automatic, and automatic is what we want.
This feels doable. I can do this.
You can, and it works. My students who use this technique stop forgetting those words within a week. Technique 2 is retrieval practice. This is one of the most powerful techniques for strengthening word recall.
What is retrieval practice?
It's when you force your brain to pull a word from memory without looking, without help, just pure recall. Here's how you do it. Pick a topic, let's say describing your day. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Speak about that topic out loud, but here's the rule. You cannot pause to look up words. You must keep speaking.
What if I forget a word?
You describe around it. You use other words. You keep going. The point is to train your brain to retrieve under pressure. And here's what happens. Your brain starts getting better at finding words quickly because you're training the retrieval muscle.
So it's like a workout for word recall.
Exactly. And the more you do it, the stronger that muscle gets. Here's an advanced version. Do the same exercise, but imagine you're talking to someone. Simulate the pressure. Pretend they're waiting for you to finish. That adds realistic stress, which trains your brain even more.
How often should I do this?
Every day, 10 minutes. Pick different topics each day. Describing your weekend, explaining your job, talking about a hobby. Variety helps.
And this will make me forget words less?
This will make you forget words way less because you're training your brain to retrieve under conditions similar to real conversation. Technique 3 is the synonym strategy. This is about having backup words.
Backup words?
Yes, for every important word, learn 2 or 3 synonyms. So if you forget one word, you have alternatives. For example, let's say you want to say exhausted, but you forget it. If you also know tired, worn out, and drained, you have options.
So I'm building redundancy.
You're building redundancy, and redundancy is powerful because it means you're never stuck. But here's the deeper benefit. When you learn synonyms together, they strengthen each other. Your brain links them. So if you can't recall exhausted, your brain might find tired, which then reminds you of exhausted.
So they help each other.
They help each other. It's like creating a safety net for your vocabulary. Here's how to practice. Take 20 common words you use often. Write down 2 synonyms for each. Then practice using all 3 versions in sentences. For example, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm worn out. Say all 3 versions. Your brain will start linking them.
And then when I speak, if I forget one, another pops up.
Exactly. You always have a word ready. Technique 4 fixes the translation problem, and it's simple but powerful. Narrate your life in English.
What does that mean?
It means throughout your day, describe what you're doing. In English, in your head. You're making coffee. In your head, you say, I'm boiling water. I'm pouring it into the cup. I'm adding sugar. Just simple narration.
So I'm thinking in English about real things.
You're thinking in English about real things, and this trains your brain to use English automatically. Here's why this works. When you narrate real actions, you're creating direct connections between experiences and English words. No translation needed.
So my brain starts thinking coffee equals coffee, not coffee equals, what's that English word? Oh yeah, coffee.
Exactly. The translation step disappears, and when that happens, word recall becomes instant. Start small. Narrate 5 minutes a day, while you're cooking, while you're getting dressed, while you're walking.
And eventually it becomes automatic?
Eventually, it becomes automatic. Your brain just starts thinking in English. And when your brain thinks in English, you don't forget words because there's no search. The words are already there. Bonus tip: narrate your emotions too. When you feel something, describe it in English. I'm feeling stressed. I'm excited about this. I'm worried. This builds emotional vocabulary, which is usually the hardest to recall. Counterintuitive. Technique 5 is counterintuitive. When you're speaking and you feel a word escaping, slow down.
But won't that make me sound worse?
That's what people think, but no. Slowing down actually makes you sound better because it gives your brain time to find the word. When you feel a word slipping away, don't panic, don't rush, just pause, take a breath, and let your brain search.
But pausing feels awkward.
Pausing feels awkward to you, but to the other person, a 2-second pause is completely normal. They don't even notice. Compare scenarios. Option 1. You rush, you panic, you forget the word, you stutter, you say you look lost.
That sounds terrible.
Option 2, you pause for 2 seconds, you find the word, you continue smoothly, you sound confident.
Okay, option 2 is way better.
Option 2 is way better, but it requires you to be comfortable with pauses, and most learners aren't. So practice pausing. When you speak alone, deliberately pause, mid-sentence, take a breath, then continue. Train your brain that pausing is okay.
So I'm normalizing the pause.
You're normalizing the pause, and once you're comfortable with it, you can use it in real conversations without panic.
This is actually relieving. I don't have to speak at lightning speed.
You don't. Native speakers pause all the time. They say, let me think. It's completely normal. Give yourself that same permission. Technique 6 is your emergency toolkit. These are phrases you use when you forget a word and you need to keep the conversation going.
Like what?
Phrase 1. What's the word? This signals to the other person that you're searching. It buys you time. Phrase 2. It's like. Then you describe the word. For example, you forgot napkin. You say, it's like a paper thing you use when you eat.
So I'm describing around the word?
You're describing around the word, and usually the other person will help you. They'll say, oh, a napkin, and then you have it. Phrase 3, you know that thing that, then describe what it does. You know that thing that keeps your drinks cold? A cooler, or fridge, or icebox. Phrase 4, I'm blanking on the word, but this is honest. You're telling them, I forgot, but I'm going to explain anyway.
And people are usually understanding?
People are very understanding because everyone forgets words sometimes, even in their native language. The key is to practice these phrases until they're automatic. So when you forget a word, you don't panic. You just use one of these rescue phrases and keep going.
This takes the fear out of forgetting.
This takes the fear out because you have a plan. You're not helpless anymore. All right, let's put all 6 techniques together into a system you can actually use. Morning, 5 minutes. Narrate your morning routine in English, building the thinking in English habit. Midday, 10 minutes. Retrieval practice. Pick a topic, speak about it without stopping. No looking up words. Evening, 10 minutes. Take 5 words you often forget. Write them in phrases. Say each phrase 20 times out loud. Throughout the day, practice slowing down. Deliberately pause when speaking alone. Get comfortable with silence. And always keep your emergency phrases ready. What's the word? It's like, you know that thing that, I'm blanking on the word.
How long until I see results?
Week 1. You'll notice you're more aware of how you retrieve words. Week 2. You'll start catching yourself before you forget. Week 3. You'll find words faster. Week 4. Forgetting words becomes rare, not normal.
So 1 month of consistent practice.
1 month of consistent practice, and the change is dramatic because you're not just hoping to get better, you're systematically training your brain. All right, everyone, we just gave you everything. the 4 reasons why you forget words, and 6 techniques to fix it.
This is not a quick fix, but it's a real fix. If you do these techniques, you will stop forgetting words.
Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one technique, just one, and commit to it for this week.
Don't try all 6 at once. Pick one, master it, then add another. That's how you build lasting change.
And leave a comment. Tell us which word you always forget. We want to know.
If this video helped you, share it with someone who struggles with this same problem, and subscribe for more conversations like this.
Before we go,
Take care of your heart.
you're doing better than you think.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.